Hey there, podcast lovers. Looking for a fresh take on the world? Tune into Nikki's World, where we dive into everything hitting the headlines and chat about just what's on our minds. No filters, just real talk. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee or unwinding after a long day, Nikki's World is your go-to for genuine commentary on the real world. Subscribe now if you want to hear the real deal on what's going on. Join the conversation on Nikki's World, where every episode feels like catching up with an old friend. Don't miss out.
What's up, y'all? Let's do this.
Oh, hi guys, welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host, and today, guys, we got to talk about the State of the Union address that happened yesterday and last night. We got to talk about how Trump ripped into the Democrats, and I'm going to rip into the Democrats as well. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, can y'all please consider donating a cup of coffee for me? Because for the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations. I am on Ko-fi, guys. If you guys want to support, sponsor, donate, tip, and commission me for a model and photo shoot. If you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, please hit that like. Subscribe, please give me a review, good, bad, and the ugly. Also, guys, I do have a bunch of affiliate links, and then towards the end, I got a new affiliate link I'm going to announce. So the first one is Minds.com. Minds.com is a Connecticut-based social media platform. They are an awesome alternative to Facebook. So if you guys value your right to freedom of speech like I do, and your right to speak freely without fear of being blocked, suspended, or deplatformed, well then, ladies and gentlemen, head on over to minds.com. Also, guys, I do have the most awesome, and I mean the most awesome affiliate link with Byrna. Byrna is the less lethal self-defense company, guys. They make their top-of-the-line Byrna SD, Byrna LE, TCR, Mission 4, and their newest, guys, their compact launcher. So if you guys value your right to the Second Amendment, your right to self-defense, but you guys want to do it in a less lethal manner, well then, ladies and gentlemen, head on over to my friends at Byrna.com. And finally, guys, I do have the most awesome, and I mean the most awesome affiliate link with North Shore Medical Supply. North Shore Medical Supply, they make their top-of-the-line North Shore Mega Max diaper, North Shore Supreme Pull-Up, North Shore Supreme Diaper, and their Eterna boosters, guys. So if you know somebody out there that needs to wear adult diapers, that needs to be put in adult diapers like I am, guys, well then, send them on over to my friends at North Shore Medical Supply. And finally, guys, I do have a new affiliate link for My Patriot Supply. So if you are into preparedness, if you know disasters are coming, like the blizzard that I went through, guys, and if you know that stores are going to run out on food and all that, you guys want to stock up on supplies from My Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply has like a 3 day, 2 week, a month, a 6 month, and a year-long supply of emergency food that you can stock up in your basement. So when disaster strikes, guys, you don't have to run to the store. You got your supplies right there in the basement. So if you guys want to stay prepared like I do, head on over to my friends at My Patriot Supply. And before we get the show on the road, literally, guys, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, seriously, y'all, can y'all please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today? Wow, yeah, I'm diapered up, padded up as always. So let's get on with the show, shall we? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, we're gonna about to rip the Democrats a whole new number. We're gonna rip their ass so wide that, boy, it's gonna be a totally new one. But anyway, did y'all see the State of the Union address yesterday with Donald Trump, with President Trump? It was the longest State of the Union address in goddamn fucking human history. Yeah, it was long. But the interesting part was when President Trump asked the entire Congress if they stand for the American people and if they stand up for American citizens, the whole Republican Party stand up, but the Democrat sat down. Them sitting down, ladies and gentlemen, tells you everything you need to know where the Democrats stand. Democrats don't stand for American citizens. They stand for illegals and criminals. Plain and simple. The fact that they didn't stand for American citizens, that they hissed and at Trump, tells you everything you need to know about the Democrat Party in a fucking nutshell. And the fact that they didn't do this, and mind you, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a midterm election cycle. Good luck trying to explain this to voters. Good luck trying to explain to your constituents back home. Fuck. Because I'm going to tell you this. The fact that Democrats did not stand for American citizens during the State of the Union address, it's midterm election seasons, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a bloodbath for the Democrats. The midterm elections is going to be a bloody massacre for them because the fact that they refuse to stand for American citizens and refuse to basically show up at the State of the Union so they can report back to their constituents tells me everything you need to know about the Democrat Party. And the fact that they refuse to do this, and the fact that they're doing this during the midterm election cycle, I don't know about you guys, but I'm into this predicting business, and I predict that every Democrat is going to lose like no tomorrow. They're going to lose so badly that they're going to wonder why they're not getting seats in the House of Representatives or in the Senate. They're going to wonder why that they lost the election. Well, it's that simple. Trump asked a simple question. If you stand for American citizens, then stand up and clap. Democrats didn't show it. In this article from the New York Post, Trump blasts Democrats who refuse to stand for protecting Americans over illegal aliens at the State of the Union. You should be ashamed. Hell yeah, you should be ashamed. Every Democrat that refused to stand for American citizen just goes to show they stand for illegal immigration. They stand for criminals, thugs, the Andes and Brandy Tifas, okay? That's who they stand for. They don't stand for you, the American citizen, you, the American public. They don't stand for you. They stand for illegal immigration and criminals. They stand for their leftist ideology, their globalist ideology. They really do, guys. And I'm telling you, that's what they stand for. They stand for their globalist like ideology, like the EU. But they don't stand for American citizens like you, me, and everyone. But I'm telling you guys, we should be ripping these Democrats a whole new asshole. And I'm telling you, man, they should be ripped to shreds. And if I were a Republican candidate running against the Democrats, I would use that video clip royally. I would use that tweet, that video clip, show it to everyone, air it as a campaign ad, and I will bet you that Democrat will lose their seat in no time flat. They will lose their election in November so fucking badly that by the time all is said and done, they'll fucking wonder why they don't get elected. They'll wonder why they're losing seats. They'll wonder why they're losing their political office and all that. And then same thing at the state level. Show that at the governor's race, at your state legislator's race. And I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, you'll wonder why Democrats are losing, why Democrats would rather defend criminals and illegal immigration and defend men who cosplay as women or men who want to go into women's spaces. Show that. And I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, Democrats will lose royally. Don't matter what they come up with. It don't matter what bullshit, mumbo jumbo, leftist, like legacy media talking point shit. Don't fucking matter. The fact that they refuse to stand for American citizens, refuse to sit through the State of the Union address, and instead go to their alternate like what stupid like counter State of the Union shit. Just goes to show they don't care about you. They don't care about anyone. All they care about is their own globalist like agenda where they all they care about is what? Open borders, sanctuary cities, sanctuary states. All they care about is taxing you to oblivion to being poor. All they care about is you like being helpless, defenseless, you like having to deal with illegal immigrants, criminals, thugs in your street, in your neighborhood. That's all they care about. They don't care about you, the American public, the American citizen who wants to live in a safe, free, and prosperous nation. That's that's why the Democrats are losing. That's why the Democrats are are losing. And on top of that, Trump had the gall to call out the Democrat Party for being crazy, for being nuts. Yeah, he called them out live in Congress on the State of the Union address. Called them out. And when he called them out, I was like, holy shit. He ripped the Democrat Party a whole new ass. And I'm telling you guys, if this keeps up, man, the Democrats are going to be in a lose-lose situation. No amount of cheating is going to save them. No amount of like wishy-washy, their mumble jumbo bullshit is going to save them. Because the fact of the matter is, the ugly truth is right out there. The fact that they refuse to stand for American citizens, that's appalling to me. That is appalling. And the fact that my state representatives, who are all Democrats, who hardly ever represented me, refuse to stand for me. I don't know why the fuck do these people get voted in the first place. I don't know why these people got elected. I just want to know. Here's a question for y'all. How the fuck did these idiots get elected? That's my question here. That's the $64,000 question that I'm always asking. How the hell do these people ever get fucking elected? Because quite frankly, guys, I don't know how they got elected. And how they got elected is beyond me. But what's beyond me is that these Democrats who refuse to clap, who refuse to look at the victims of their of their leftist agenda in the face. Many of them were sitting in the halls of Congress during the State of the Union address, and many refused to look at them in the eye. Yeah, makes you wonder, why fucking bother have a Democrat Party? Yeah, why fucking bother? Because the Democrat Party, like, to me, is more like the JFK Party. But the Democrat Party today is all about socialist communists who don't believe in open borders, who believe that everybody is entitled to come into this country. Bull fuck shit. Yeah, seriously, bull fuck shit. But the fact of the matter is, guys, these people disgust me. These people are pieces of filth. These Democrats who refuse to stand up to American citizens, who refuse to basically defend the American citizens. Which what's the first rule about about the U.S. government is to protect the people. But Democrats refuse to protect the people. Instead, they protect illegals. They protect criminals. Which is why people like me, when we saw that, we were like, the fuck, man? Really, the fuck? Why would you want to protect an illegal immigrant, a criminal, a thug? Why would you? I for the life of me, it makes me wonder, makes me go like this. How stupid and retarded you have to be to defend criminals and illegal immigrants. How stupid and retarded? Answer that for me. Explain that for me as I'm here in my diaper and onesie. Explain that to me. How stupid and mentally retarded you have to be to defend illegal immigrants, to defend criminals. You got to be that stupid, or as they say, you must have fell on your head so badly that you probably lost a fucking few brain cells in the whole process. Yeah, makes me wonder. But as I'm here podcasting to y'all, I I look at every Democrat that refused to stand up for American citizens. I go like this. Many of them should not be in office. Many of them should be voted out of office immediately. Many of them, if they're running for a re-election, should be primaried to oblivion. Should be literally primaried out of office. They should be primaried out of office so badly, ladies and gentlemen, that these people should not be allowed to hold political office ever again. They should never, ever be allowed to hold political office. If they can't stand for American citizens and they instead they stand for illegal immigrants, criminals, thugs, and the globalists, then they don't deserve to be in political office. They don't deserve to be where they are. They deserve to be booted out of office, to be voted out of office, and to be primaried. And I'm telling you, what Trump did yesterday gave ammunition to those who are running against them in the election this year. And many of the people who are in the House of Representatives and on the Senate who are up for re-election this year, I'm telling you right now, their seats are in danger. Their seats are at risk. And the fact that they did this yesterday and refused to stand for American citizens speaks volumes of who they are, ladies and gentlemen. It speaks volumes. It speaks so much volumes, guys. I could fucking fill a stadium. Okay? I could literally fill volumes of encyclopedia on their bullshit. I could literally do that. But you know what? I'm going to let the voters decide. Because I'm going to tell you this. What scares the Democrat Party so much is the voters. The voters don't forget. And if you blast that during the campaign cycle over the spring, summer, I'll tell you right now, Democrats are going to risk losing their office immediately. They're never going to get reelected ever again. And if you show that on every billboard in America, every Democrat will never be reelected again. Democrats will never, ever hold political office ever again. You'll see like what? Very few get in, but the majority of the House of Representatives, the majority of the Senate will be all Republican. And you know, as Dan Bongino says, Democrats are the cause of all your problems. Republicans are are not are not the solution, but they'll fix your problem. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to see a Republican wave like no tomorrow, or even a conservative wave. Because I'll tell you this: what Democrats just did yesterday, they just handed Congress and the governor's office and your state legislative offices over to the conservative and Republican side. They did that in one fell swoop. What they don't realize, this, ladies and gentlemen, is that Democrats just basically said they're losing the election and they're going to lose. And and by them doing that yesterday at the State of the Union address, they just sealed their doom. They just sealed their doom. And you know what's surprising for me, guys? Many of these Democrats think they're okay with it. But then you wonder why they're not going to be reelected. You wonder why they're not going to be back in office. You wonder why they're not going to be back in their position because of what they did yesterday. And you know what, the one thing that they did that is so appalling? You got this representative from Texas, Al Green, who basically, even before the State of the Union, made a sign that say black people aren't so and so, and he got voted right out. I have to question, fuck, did they let this guy get elected to Congress in Texas? I'm looking at the people of Texas. How the hell did you get this asshole elected? That's all I want to know. Maybe next time y'all should do a better background check, do a better due diligence, and maybe even do a better like responsive check just to make sure that he's mentally fit to hold office, because Al Green, he, he's not mentally fit to be in Congress, let alone AOC, who really should never be in Congress in the fucking damn first place. But to me, guys, I'm just going to say it like this. Representative Al Green should be booted out of Congress immediately. Okay? He should have been booted out faster than that New York congressman that they booted out for financial crime. They should have booted him out. They should have booted out Al Green as well. And then while we're at it, boot out those Muslim like congressmen from like Michigan and Minnesota. Boot them out too. I would have booted them out in the damn first place. But you know what? The only way we're gonna have to get them out is by the ballot box. And I'm telling you right now, what scares the Democrats the most and what scares them so much is the ballot box. They're gonna try to use illegal immigrants to stop the pad their votes. But since Trump's removing their illegal immigrants, they probably don't stand a chance of winning. And with what they did yesterday at the State of the Union address, putting on that shit show, that clown show, and then wearing the fuck ICE or release the Epstein file shit. You know, it's kind of funny. These Democrats are just begging to lose an election. These Democrats are just simply saying, hey, they want to lose the election. They don't want to be in office anymore. Well, fine and good. We can always vote someone who will represent us, who will represent their constituents, who will represent their district well, instead of representing some political ideology. Yeah, pretty much. But, for me, I like the fact that during the State of the Union address, Trump said that he is going to do a Social Security matching program where he's going to like match dollar for dollar. If their employer is matching it, he's going to match it with it as well. So he's in a sense creating wealth for the retirees, which is goddamn awesome. And at the same time, I like it where he's banning like corporations from buying up homes, like making it harder for people to own a home, to buy a home. That's kind of great as well. And I like it that Vice President J.D. Vance is now leading the charge on going after fraud, waste, and abuse in this country, especially going after the fraud, waste, and abuse that's going on in what? Minnesota, California, and Maine. I'm glad we're going after that fraud, waste, and abuse because that's $1 billion that's being stolen by these like people. And I'm glad we're going after them because sooner or later, criminal charges are going to come their way. And then at the same time, I do like it, guys, that we are going to go after criminals who, because of blue state policies of letting them out with no bail or no bond or no holding them in jail until the outcome of their case. No, we're going to really go after them. We're really going to make sure that they stay in jail, that they stay until the outcome of their case. And if they're going to prison, they go straight to prison. It is pretty much that cut and dry. And then I like the fact that, guys, and I like the fact that Trump called out the Democrats for not funding the Department of Homeland Security. That includes like what? The Secret Service, the U.S. Coast Guard. Yeah. Makes me wonder why any Democrat would ever support defund like shutting down the Coast Guard. That's sickening to me. Just because you don't like, just because you want open borders, you want sanctuary cities and states, and I like it that Trump's going after that. Trump's going after cities and states that are open borders for sanctuary cities and states. I like that Trump is going after them and Trump is hammering them like a rock. The fact that these cities and states that are all for illegal immigration, all for giving them like commercial driver's license, which I like now that that's being put to a stop. That is being like cut off completely because that is great news. Because what? How can you be a commercial truck driver if you can't speak English, if you can't read English, or if you can't read a road sign? It's pretty much that simple. And I'm glad that Trump is finally going to hammer that, and Trump is finally going to go after these states that are basically giving CDL licenses to illegal immigrants like candy. Pretty much. And the fact that he's doing it, he should even go after the companies that are hiring these truck drivers that can't read, write, or speak English. Companies like what? Amazon, FedEx, and UPS. Doesn't surprise me, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't surprise me. But Trump should go after them. Trump should hammer them religiously. Trump should literally nail balls to the fucking wall on them. Yeah, really. But the one thing I like was that he paid homage to Charlie Kirk's wife. He paid homage to that mother whose daughter got slashed in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay? He paid homage to the National Guardsman who got stabbed while defending this country. Yeah. He paid homage to a lot of people. And a lot of people like that. But what pissed off the Republican Party and the Republicans, what pissed off the Republican Party and pissed off the American public is the fact that the Democrat Party refused to side with the American citizens. They refused to side with us so badly that they would rather side with illegal immigrants and criminals than with us. That's basically everything you need to see. That's basically everything right there, plain and fucking simple. Is that these people don't care about us. And the Democrats yesterday just showed it by wearing white, by saying fuck ICE, by having an alternate State of the Union address outside the US Capitol on the national park. Yeah. And then having like what? That like radical leftist governor in Virginia spouting like leftist bullshit. Telling you, man. Telling you. That kind of pissed me off to the 10th degree. That kind of made me pissed. That kind of made me mad. That kind of made me angry that Democrats don't care about you, me, and everyone else. All they care about is their criminal, their thugs, their illegal immigrants. That's all they care about. They don't care about you, me, and everyone who makes a living, who makes $1, who basically wants to make a decent amount of money. Yeah, they don't care. All they care about is that they care that illegal immigrants get everything. Illegal immigrants get this and this and this. That's all they care about. They don't care if you're struggling. They don't care if you're taxed to the bone. Because you know why? They would rather hand your tax money to an illegal immigrant than to an American citizen. That's why that State of the Union address yesterday just goes to show if Democrats aren't willing to stand up for American citizens, but they're willing to stand up for illegal immigrants and criminals, right then and there is all you need to know about the Democrat Party in a fucking nutshell. Right then and there is all you need to know why they don't belong in Congress, why they should be voted out of office. And if voters had had rubbed two brain cells together and had a half a brain decently, they would vote these people out of office a long time ago. These people would have been long gone. These people would have been removed from office immediately. These people would never be in power. But you know what? Some of these Democrats are using Congress as their personal piggy bank and as their their only source of income. Yeah, but to me, these people should be booted out of office. For that matter, this is why I'm all for term limits. If we put term limits on the president, we should be putting term limits on on Congress. We really should. But you know why Congress will never put term limits on themselves? Because many of them that are in there see it as their piggy bank, as their sole job security. That's why they'll never. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, you'll never see them out of power. You'll never. But they're addicted to power. Democrats are addicted to it. That's why they'll do anything to stay in power, even if it means cheating, even if it means using illegal immigrants to pad their votes in key congressional districts. That's why Trump is literally removing their illegal immigrant voting block. That's why he's removing them. And because he's removing them, he knows come 2028, when it's the next presidential cycle, or around 2028, 2029, when we have the next presidential cycle, we know JD Vance is going to run for president, and we know JD Vance and Marco Rubio is going to be the big deal. And to me, I think Trump Jr. should run for Congress in Florida. He would make a good, and I mean good, House Speaker. He would make a good House Speaker. He would make a good Senate Majority Leader or the House Majority Leader. Because look at it this way, Trump Jr., if you got Trump Jr. as House Speaker or House Majority Leader or Senate Majority Leader, oh my God, the MAGA movement and the conservative movement would be able to stay in power for at least 50 years until 2050. But to me, if that happens, oh man, it'd be awesome. But also, I think like this, positioning Trump Jr. in Congress first gets him enough experience for him to run for president himself. And if after 8 years with JD Vance and Rubio, I'm telling you, man, Rubio and Trump Jr. would be a dynamic powerhouse like no tomorrow. It would be the most dynamic powerhouse ever. But as I said before, and I'll say it again, this State of the Union address yesterday basically blew the lid wide open as to why the Democrats refuse to stand up for American citizens. They sat through the entire State of the Union address, hissing, booing, and Trump laid a trap right there for them. And the beauty of that trap, ladies and gentlemen, is that the American people saw it with their own two eyes. They saw it. It was live broadcast everywhere. They saw how they didn't stand for American citizens and how they stood for illegal immigration and criminals and thugs. They saw it with their own two eyes. And when they saw that, ladies and gentlemen, they knew that they're going to lose the midterm elections. And they know that the midterm elections are this year, and they know that they are done. I am betting you right now their opponents are going to use that as ammunition against them in the midterm elections. And if they do, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be there to highlight that royally. But I will say like this, ladies and gentlemen, if I were a Republican or conservative strategist, I would literally use that as ammunition against the Democrats. I would use that footage and plaster it on every campaign flyer, ad, or video ad, or TV ad. I would plaster that all over. And I would even plaster it all over every fucking billboard in America. If they did that, I guarantee you every Democrat would fucking lose the election. And every Republican would win by fucking damn landslide. I'm telling you this right now. That would happen in one fell swoop. And you would see every Republican and conservative holding office. And once that happens, Trump has virtually sway in his last like 2 years. He would literally be able to push his America First agenda, his Make America Great agenda right then and there. And the Democrats would not be able to muster any votes. He would be able to do that on a whim. But I'm telling you right now, after that stunt that the Democrats did yesterday in the State of the Union address, they just sealed their fate right then and there. They just literally said, "We're fine losing political office." Yeah, they literally just said that yesterday, and they said that they don't care about American citizens like you, me, and everyone else. I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, telling you right now, by them saying that yesterday in the State of the Union address, just goes to show that they don't care about you, me, and everyone else. And it just goes to show that they care about their illegal immigrants, their thugs, their criminals, and their leftist groups. They said that yesterday, and that just goes to show that they don't care about you, me, and everyone else. That pretty much just says like this: they don't care anymore. They don't. And by them admitting that yesterday and showing that in front of the entire American public, telling you, man, voters don't forget. And voters remember that at the ballot box. And here's a warning to Democrats. If you try to gaslight us, we're going to remember that when we go to the ballot box in November. And November is like what? It's right now February, so what? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 9 months away. But I'm telling you, 9 months away, we're going to remember that at the polls. We're going to remember that at the ballot box. So I'm going to tell you like this, Democrats. You think you're going to get away with all this shit? You think you think voters aren't going to forget this shit? If you think that, you must be on drugs. You must be on crack. You must be on whatever leftist jumble bullshit that is out there. You must be. Damn, that was a good long show, man. That was a good long show. And quite frankly, guys, I'm not in my diaper today because I had to do a photo shoot today. So I had to do a photo shoot, and I will be posting my photo shoots up on Instagram, OnlyFans, and Fansly. So if you guys want to see the really kinky parts of the photo shoot, it is on my Instagram. It is going to be on my OnlyFans, Fansly, and Bentbox. So it's going to be up there for y'all to see. But I know because I was in the photo shoot, so I don't normally wear a diaper. I just wear a pull-up. But quite frankly, I prefer being in a diaper. But hey, that's what photo shoots are. That's what modeling is for. But hey, those are things I get to do. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I will see y'all soon. Bye for now.
You just listened to an episode of Nikki's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.